Section 1 Football Media Day 2024, presented by GameDay 1, Veolia, and White Plains Hospital.
Section 1 Football Media Day, joined now by, you won a couple state championships the last few years, Coach DeMatteo?
Not sure.
Not sure. They won the last two state championships. Coach DeMatteo and Stomer joining us here at Media Day. I think we asked this question last year. Do you turn the page, or are you still thinking about last year? How do you approach the state championship hangover going into the next season?
Oh, we definitely turn the page, and the good thing about our program is we have high numbers, so we feel pretty good every year about bringing a couple guys back that have that, 12, 13 game, 14 game season under their belt, as well as getting other younger guys and guys that may have not have played the year before acclimated with our culture and the time that we put in. So we definitely turned the page. That's in a rearview mirror. This is a brand new team. We're going to be much different than we were last year, and we're very much looking forward to it.
How are you different? I mean, what areas of this team is you have to make adjustments with the roster that you have?
Yeah, we have a brand new offensive line outside of Ben, who's sitting here, who was a starter last year and a 3-year varsity guy. And they're all capable and very talented, but we're fairly complicated, and it takes some time for us to get acclimated to the things that we do. So we put an importance on our summer camps and joint practice that we have going with North Rockland on Friday, which we're very excited about, to get those guys up to speed. So I could see us being a little bit more, with a little bit more flair than we've been in the past, and I think a couple guys sitting next to me are going to be able to provide that.
Who's here tonight? Who'd you bring?
So we have Mason Kelly, who is going to be our workhorse running back, and he's going to get some work as an outside linebacker. We have Ben Harris, who's going to starting offensive lineman, defensive lineman. We have Miguel Iglesias, who's going to go from receiver over to quarterback this year, and he's still going to be playing defense, defensive back. Behind him is Aiden Cooligan, who's a 3-year starter, primarily on the defensive side of the ball, battled some injuries, a real warrior and culture guy. And then at the end there, we have Dean Palazzolo, who's a rising junior who obviously had a breakout year last year, receiver, and may get some burn on defense.
Let's pass on to Mason. Mason, I obviously was at a lot of your games last year. I think the efficiency you ran with was really impressive, but I think that was also a product of the offensive line. So how has this offensive line in front of you come together, and how good have they been so far?
I think seeing them in camp, I'm liking what I see a lot. A lot of the guys on our offensive line are big dudes. They've been in the weight room consistently, like almost every single day. And I like running behind Ben Harris because he's a big guy, and I ran behind him last year too. So that's definitely something I look forward to doing again this year.
You've obviously been a part of all the winning these last two seasons.
Yes, sir.
How important is it to teach these young guys that it doesn't just happen by putting on the red jersey?
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing we talk about is we try to forget the last two state championships. We don't talk about them. We don't think about them. All we're looking forward to is that first game, and then after that, it's the very next game we play. We want to teach them that they need to do everything they can in practice, even if they're a guy that's not going to get on the field. Like our scout team is very important. We got a lot of guys that are fighting to get on the field, but if they're not going to be able to, they're going to help us in practice by getting us good reps.
How's the quarterback look so far, the new quarterback?
Hey, he's looking great. I trust him there.
Excellent. Let's pass on to Miguel. Just, taking over. I mean, big shoes to fill. Last two guys that played quarterback won state championships. You were obviously a big part of the team as well. But what did you learn from the way Fitzsimons and the last two quarterbacks have kind of carried themselves?
I mean, both quarterbacks we had the last 2 years were both great quarterbacks. They were good, more importantly, they were great guys. I mean, they threw the ball to receivers. They talked us through the plays. I mean, I've been playing quarterback all through youth, so I'm excited to get back into it.
There also were two guys that seemed to save their best football for when it really mattered late in the year. So, how much do you have to remind yourself that there is a process to this about being the quarterback of this team?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm not expecting myself to come out and be the best quarterback, but I'm certainly going to try. I mean, that's my goal, to come out and play the best I can. So, yeah.
When in doubt, hand it to him or throw it to that guy down there.
That's right. That's what I plan on doing.
Hand it on to Dean. I knew your name a little bit going last year. Someone told me, watch out for this guy, but I didn't know you were this great. I mean, do you look back on last year, and how do you kind of summarize what you did as a player?
Yeah, I don't really look back on last year. It's a new team, and I'm just starting over. And
you should go back and watch some of the highlights. They're really good. But just yourself as a receiver, who are some of the guys around you that are from the skills of you and Mason that are going to have to step up and kind of support this cast of players you have?
A lot of players have stepped up this year, like JJ Penzo. He's coming out. He was being a halfback. He didn't really see much playing time last year, but he's going to step up big this year, and it's going to be a big help for us this year.
Now I pass it back. The defense has been so good these last 2 seasons. So tell me about this unit and how they've come together and keep that level.
Yeah, I think we lost a bunch of great guys, but our defense is going to be young. They're going to be hungry. Like, we're going to be looking to do everything they can to improve the team and keep every team to 0.
Is there a goal for this team? Is it week 0 against Ramapo, 1 game at a time, or is there really long-term goals?
I mean, we always have the long-term goal of winning the section. That's what we have our eyes set on, and we take it game by game, change our game plan as it's needed.
Excellent. That's Mike. Coach, was the one question that maybe someone like myself had was about the offensive and the offensive line mostly, but you're obviously a veteran. How has that unit kind of come together and grown so far in the camp?
Well, they're very young, but they're getting the hang of it slowly. Just working on technical stuff. It's getting the plays down, and the more we play together, the better we'll be. So.
And what did you learn from some of the best leaders of this team the last few years were offensive and defensive linemen over the last decade? But just what have you learned from the group in front of you?
So many things. I learned great leadership from Nicky Kreco last year. Jake Polito 2 years ago, with technique-wise, playing behind him. Matthew Klee. There's so many guys that that have made our offense what it is and our offensive line.
Pass down to Coach. Coach, I don't know if you remember this. The Ramapo kid never was actually in the end zone for that touchdown. That was your only loss last year. How much of that week 0 game now is motivation to kind of avenge that loss and the only loss you had last year?
I think it's very fair to say that that's been on our mind. And the fact that he wasn't in the end zone, obviously, Monday morning quarterback, yeah, everyone saw that. And in real time, it is what it is. It was not something we ever complained about or really harped on. I think, the way that game went helped our team grow and helped us mature a little bit, and look where it took us. And we're very, very excited to host them in 9 days.
Them, week 0, Yorktown, week 1, Mahopac, week 2. The season just awesome the way it starts.
Yeah, and I honestly like that. It placed an importance on our summer because, with a lot of new guys, we had to have numbers at camp, which we did. We had to have numbers at the workout programs, and we did. And we're very excited to go into this game and into that first little stretch, and hopefully we come out, happy.
Keep it going, Coach. So much good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.